I often read 2 or more books at the same time, flipping between the books as the mood takes me. I say this is fine as long as the 2 books are sufficiently different. I wouldn't read 2 mysteries at the same time or 2 classics at the same time because I'm liable to confuse them in my mind. But sometimes 2 books I am reading appeared very different at the beginning, but they turn out to have a lot more in common than it first appeared. I've just finished reading this. This is the controversial book 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. And I'm also still reading The House of Mirth by Edith Wharton. At first glance, these 2 books may seem completely different. One, the Edith Wharton book, is set in 1905. It's a social novel about New York society during the Gilded Age. The other is a contemporary YA novel about bullying and about a girl, a teen, who killed herself. But they share some surprisingly strong thematic connections, especially around social cruelty, reputation, isolation, and the destructive power of public judgment. My name is Jim. This is my channel, Books, Reading and Stuff. Have you read 13 Reasons? Have you read House of Mirth? Let me know in the comments. If you've read both of them, even better. Did you find similarities between the 2? Or are there 2 books you've been reading at the same time that have surprising similarities? Here, with House of Mirth and the 13 Reasons, both novels depict worlds where people are constantly being watched and evaluated. In The House of Mirth, Lily Bart lives inside the rigid social codes of the Gilded Age of New York society. A rumour, a misunderstood interaction, or a perceived moral failing can destroy a woman's future. Social survival depends on appearances. Similarly, in 13 Reasons Why, Hannah Baker exists in a high school environment dominated by gossip, rumours, peer pressure, and reputation. The listening culture of the tapes mirrors the whisper networks of Wharton society. In both books, people become trapped by the way people perceive them. Private pain becomes public spectacle, and communities participate collectively in emotional destruction. The horror in both novels comes from how ordinary people casually contribute to someone's collapse. Neither Lily in House of Mirth or Hannah in 13 Reasons are destroyed by a single event. Instead, both novels show psychological erosion through many small humiliations and betrayals. The structure is crucial. In House of Mirth, it's about social exclusion, financial insecurity, failed relationships, and constant judgment, which gradually wears Lily down emotionally and spiritually. In 13 Reasons Why, it's rumours, objectification, betrayal, and isolation that accumulate so Hannah feels there's no escape. Both books reject the idea that suffering must come from a single villain. Instead, they present society itself as corrosive. There's a gender issue as well in both. Both novels are deeply concerned with the pressures placed on women. Lily Bart is judged according to impossible standards. She must be attractive but not sexually independent, socially successful but morally flawless, financially dependent yet somehow dignified. And Hannah faces a more modern version of similar pressures. Sexual rumours define her identity. Male behaviour shapes her reputation, and she loses control over how others narrate her life. In both novels, female identity becomes something constructed and distorted by others. Social cruelty disguised as normality. One of the most unsettling similarities is tonal. Neither novel presents its world as overtly monstrous. Most characters see themselves as normal people. That makes the cruelty more disturbing. Wharton's upper-class society destroys Lily through etiquette, exclusion, and hypocrisy rather than open violence. Asher's teenagers often hurt Hannah through carelessness, selfishness, or conformity rather than outright evil. Both books suggest that social systems can destroy people without anyone fully intending the outcome. The major difference between the two is the complexity and perspective. There are important differences. The House of Mirth is psychologically and socially more layered. Wharton examines class, economics, gender, and morality with enormous nuance. Lily herself is complex, contradictory, and partly complicit in the society trapping her. 13 Reasons Why is more direct and emotionally immediate. Its structure encourages readers to focus on accountability and emotional impact rather than broader social analysis. Wharton's novel asks how society destroys someone. Asher's novel asks how do individual actions contribute to another person's despair. The connection between the novels becomes strongest if you see both as tragedies about social ecosystems. Both Lily Bart and Hannah Baker are intensely visible yet emotionally unseen, become trapped inside reputations they cannot control, and slowly lose hope under relentless social pressure. So those are my thoughts comparing the two novels. I've just finished this one. I'm still reading House of Mirth, but the similarities were quite striking for me. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. This will help me with that YouTube algorithm, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.